From Michael, during the recent Backstage, a question came to mind that unfortunately didn't get answered. Why is there not much creativity anymore in Hollywood? It seems that most movies are remakes and sometimes remakes of remakes. It makes it hard to get excited to go see movies. Any thoughts on this you have will most likely be enlightening. I think I did answer this in the Backstage, but really, it's fun to blame the left because the left has taken over Hollywood and they just make such garbage and they don't care about the people. They feel the way Bill Maher feels about them. They're not trying to entertain them anymore, and that's part of it. Hollywood was never wonderfully original. I mean, so many of the films, the great films, are based on books or are based on other movies. A movie like The Maltese Falcon, one of the greatest crime movies ever made, is the third version of it. I think there was a Silence one. There's one called Satan Was a Lady, that, the Dashiell Hammett novel, and it was based on a Dashiell Hammett novel. So they've always needed material, and they brought in material from elsewhere. Arts have their day. Arts have their day, and then all the tricks are gone through. When people are dealing with an art form, it's not just the stories you tell, it's using the techniques that an art form produces. So when Hitchcock says, you know what? You don't have to show, when a guy gets in a cab, you don't have to show him traveling to a location and then show him getting out of the cab at that location. He can just get in the cab and then you cut to the location and people will understand. In fact, you can just go to the place and people will understand. That was some of the stuff that Hitchcock saw. He saw that he knew, because he started in silence, that movies were not primarily a vehicle for language. They were primarily a vehicle for images. You were telling a story with images. Vertigo has something like 20, 30 minutes without a word in it. It's an amazing, amazing sequence. As you get, kind of go through all those permutations, the art gets tired. And as it gets tired, intellectuals come in and start to say, oh, well, here's the serious art, and this is just the silly art. And that actually happens. An art form divides into empty, popular entertainment and serious but complex and ultimately over-intellectualized entertainment. And some of those pictures are good. You get a picture like Logan, which is a good movie, but entertains people. And you get pictures that are kind of weird and offbeat, but are actually pretty good if you happen to be an intellectual who likes film. That's the audience for them. But that moment when we were talking about it Backstage, like 1939, when every movie nominated for an Oscar is a classic and a box office hit, that is when an art is at its prime. It usually happens pretty early on in its technique. I think it's happening to TV. It's kind of trailing off in TV, and it'll happen again. It happened in video games for a while when they were just kind of exploding as people were experimenting with the art form and learning how to tell stories with it and telling stories that people love before the intellectuals arrive. Art is always like running away from the intellectuals. The intellectuals, once they catch up to it, they kill it. They think it to death and they kill it, and people start to appeal to them. But also they just die naturally. And that's what I think has happened to the movies. There'll still be good movies. There's still good plays. The theater has been dead for centuries, but there's still good plays made, still classic plays. Tom Stoppard is one of the greatest writers of my lifetime. He's a playwright. So there'll still be great movies, but basically the art form is over for now. It may be reinvented by another culture or another permutation of our culture, but for now, the movies are a moribund art form.